I wish I had started sooner. It's as simple as that. I wish I had started betting on me sooner. I wish I had started believing in myself sooner. I wish I had stopped starting and stopping over and over again. I wish I had done what I was here to do sooner. Now, when you're young, you're told that, you have plenty of time to explore the things that you want to do. And that is true. It is never too late. So long as you got breath in your lungs, it is never too late. But time moves, y'all. Time goes. Time waits for no man. And it didn't wait for me. And I found myself in this perpetual place of, giving myself a little bit to the things that I love to do. Giving myself a little bit and then running from it, tucking away, right? Well, I have time. I can do that later down the road. Or, how is this going to profit me? How's this going to make me money? Okay, let me go get myself a job. Let me go do this, do that. And, we're often told this message, or at least as young men, I know, is, go out and just try everything. Try every type of occupation, try every type of job before you give yourself to something completely. And I understand the logic behind that. And I would say, yeah, let that be the case if you do not yet know what that thing is that sets you on fire. But I believe that most of us are actually in tune with what we want to do. We just don't believe we can. And so we don't do it. We don't start. And we believe that, okay, I can eventually do it down the road. I get this job and, I do what I got to do, what I quote unquote have to do for the next 10 years. I just continue to perpetually be on this hamster wheel for the next decade, and then I'll hop off the hamster wheel. Then I'll finally do what I want to do. Then I'll finally start the business. Then I'll finally start making the music. Then I'll finally start writing the books. Then I'll finally start, creating the websites or, open up the salon, whatever it may be. And so we find ourselves jumping into that damn hamster wheel that we're told gives us a sense of security. It's really a false sense of security. We go into the job space, we go into the marketplace, and we develop some sort of skill sets that aren't even related to what we want to do or what we are here to do. Or maybe we take on what is called a shadow career. Shout out to Stephen Pressfield, the author of War of Art. Yes, it's the War of Art, not the Art of War, Sun Tzu, but the War of Art. And he speaks of a shadow career, which is essentially the place that most of us go to hide instead of doing the thing that we're actually called to do. So you're a writer. You're supposed to be writing books, but instead you become a copywriter for a marketing firm, right? Instead of being a songwriter or a producer of music, you become a teacher of music. This ain't no shade to the shadow career. It's simple fact. We find places to hide. And I have a quite unique journey where, at a young age, I had aspirations. And I not only had those aspirations, but I had quite a rebellious spirit. When my entire environment was telling me that I was wasting my time, that it was, dumb to make music and have these kind of pipe dreams, quote unquote, I still did it. And so from 14 to around 19, 20 years old, I was fully fledged. I knew I was going to make it in music. But then I stopped. And, that was tied to a lot of me leaving a certain lifestyle. I was an addict, a dope boy, etc. When I left that lifestyle, I also left music behind because I had a correlation between the two. I believed that the two were inseparable and I couldn't hold on to one. I couldn't hold on to the lifestyle that was literally going to end me up in a box or in a cage. You can do the math on that one. So I found myself essentially now, instead of being in my purpose or fully committing to my purpose, because there's a difference. You can dabble in something but never truly be in it. I had made videos in the past. I had made plenty of videos. I made videos for, marketing once I got into that shadow career, right? I made videos sporadically, just little motivational stuff or whatever it may have been as a little creative outlets. I dabbled back in music, but I never fully committed. I never fully gave myself. I never truly started because I had so many other voices that were more impactful in my life than my own, that I allowed to be more powerful than my own inner voice. I allowed the voice of, my folks or my culture at a certain point to be louder than my own. the voice of teachers who, had their own fears and hesitations about life and saw it as feasible for me to get into a college system and then get myself into the job market and use my skill set to do something that was quote unquote practical. There was nobody who was egging me on to put content on YouTube. Nobody egging me on to put, content on social media, to create music and put it out into the world. And there was nobody encouraging those aspects of me. Maybe one or two, I can't lie about that. And there were those who supported what I created, but it doesn't mean that that was the voices, the loudest voices of my life. And I know that's the case for you. Majority of the voices are not going to be egging you on to do the thing that you were called to do. And to be fair, it's not their vision, it's yours. It's not their life path, it's yours. And they may never understand until they start to see the fruits of it. There are too many stories at this point, countless stories of people who are major successes in what they love to do. I'm reminded right now of Chris Tucker, right, whose family told him he was, wasting away his life just being this class clown and, that he was basically going to be the embarrassment of the family, which is telling me that he was that at that point. Until, he ends up continuing to be a clown, as they would say, and clowning his way into his first film, Aside Ice Cube, which was Friday, which he only got paid like $5,000 for. But again, Cube was on his way up. It was the first movie, I believe, that he made. And so he paid what he paid to all those comedians that he helped make a platform for. And Chris went from that to Money Talks. I remember that one. I've watched it probably 150 times, just like Friday. And then after that, he's now getting a $10 million check for Rush Hour. And all of a sudden, he's a genius. All of a sudden, everybody in his family knew that he was going to be the one to make it out. All of a sudden, right? Once you got $10 million connected to the thing that you're doing. And I want to say to you, don't wait until the $10 million to validate your purpose, to validate your dream. Don't give up on it. Don't allow any voice to be louder than your own inner knowing. Because I promise you, the one regret you will have, and we hear these stories of folks on their deathbed, and they're talking to a nurse or whoever may be, asking these questions. Maybe somebody comes in to give an interview, and they ask them about their life, and there's always a similar pattern of regrets of obviously what I wish I would have done or not done as far as my family goes, right? Relationships, etc. But there's almost always, I wish I could have taken more quote unquote risk. I wish I would have pursued the thing I love to do. I wish I would have painted. I wish I would have sung. I wish I would have, constructed houses. I wish I would have started that business. I wish I would have started that foundation. I wish I would have traveled the world and created the documentaries that, like, there's something in them that was unexpressed, and they will go to the grave with that thing. Dr. Miles Monroe, he said, the most wealth is in the graveyard, buried with the people who never cultivated that inner wealth. And in you is an endless funnel of wealth. If anybody watches me regularly, you know that I am a regular creator. I create and I create and I create and I create. That's what I do. That's what I do. I'm here for what I do right here. Folks like, damn, you putting out a song it feels like there's a new song. There is a new song all the time because I'm always creating. I'm always creating. In the same way they say always be selling, like a salesperson does, I'm always creating because that's what I'm here to do. And so that's the one thing I would tell myself at the age of 2, 12, 22, 52, 102. It's just start. And don't stop. Start and don't stop. They're two sides of the same coin. Because one side of us, maybe we did a little bit and then we just stopped. Or we start 100 times over. And we become frustrated because we never see results because we continue to dead that momentum. And then on the other side, we have never starting in the first place. And both of them create a deep sense of regret. And if you hold to that regret without using it as a fuel source to remind you that never again will I do that, all it will be is just a burden upon your life. And I don't care how much you try to suppress it, to pretend that it doesn't exist, you will continue to be reminded of the thing that you never did.
I used to be afraid of the dark, a place unknown like a heart in their heart. I used to see my life in the bar. Now the kids unchained, every shackle is lost. 2 steps in the moonlight, 2 step in the daytime. You just know when it feel right. You got a feeling the time's not. See you through those shades that I just threw on. Through my lenses, you just can't do no wrong. I fell in love with myself again. I fell in love with myself. I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see